Now let's talk about brand building. What are the obstacles that we generally face when we talk about building brands? First and foremost, that objective is rarely stated in a company. We're really out here to build a brand. Why? Because most of the time, companies focus on what? Sales skills, right? I can see it in the faces of everyone. Yes, top line. Every, especially the sales guys, right? What do people call you and ask you about? Do they ask you about how you're doing? I don't know. How much did you sell last week? How much did you sell last month? What the hell were you thinking? Where's my sales? Where's my sales? For the marketing guys, what do they ask you about? They ask you about market share. How are you doing relative to competition? And I'd like to just park that thought with you for a moment, because those things are effects of things that you do in the market. Right? Top line sales are a result. They are not an objective in and of themselves. Brand equity is often something intangible. As you said, I want to understand what this brand equity thing is. What is it? Because it's one of those terms that seems to mean everything and nothing. Right? So we will give you a working definition of what is brand equity, and hopefully will help you wrap your heads around that idea, and it won't be that intangible. How many of us have urgent short-term pressures? Anyone? No one? Wow, I want to work with advertising. No one has short-term pressures. This is amazing. Okay, so the minute you're in the office, you know, the fan is hitting the shit, right? That's exactly how it is, and you're like ducking, weaving. It's all about now. Let me deal with this fire. I'll put this one out. I know there's 3 other fires here, but they're smaller. And this one was lit by my boss. So this one, it may be smaller now, but I know it's going to become very big very fast. So let me deal with this one, and then I will come to these 3 now. Long-term stuff can wait, because this one is really, it's hot. It's burning right now. Right? We have this phenomenon, a little less so in the last year or so, because jobs have been harder to find because of the recession. But brand managers come and they go, right? And every brand manager wants to add something to their CV, just like every sales manager wants to add something to their CV. And what is the easiest thing for a brand manager to do? Brand relaunch, right? Change the packaging. That's the first thing that a brand person can do, which is visible to every other hiring manager in the world. Look, I changed the packaging. What's the result of that? You have a bunch of very confused consumers, people who are all of a sudden, whoa, wait a minute, that used to be my brand. I'm not sure if it's my brand anymore, because it doesn't seem to be talking to me. But that's okay, because a brand manager got a bullet point on the CV that helps them to land the next job, and they're off and running. And of course, if brand equity is not measured, it's not something that you can actually keep track of if you don't measure it. Now, if someone calls you every day and asks you about sales, you keep track of your sales. You call each and every one of the people who reports to you on a daily basis, or you get a written report from them. What did you sell? You know, sometimes by SKU, to which account. Why? Because you know you're going to get asked a question. Someone's going to call you, if not today, then tomorrow, and say, so how's that particular SKU doing? How's that new launch performing? And so on and so forth. It's kind of the same way with brand equity. Now,